Now, Cam Van Gogh was more of an, how do I put it? It was just an artistic expression more than it was supposed to be an actual album. So, how do I start this? Okay, so I'll start from the other side of things. Cam Van Gogh was me doing another, double disc type project. It was going to have an accompanying project. It wasn't going to be two discs. And that accompanying project was called Burnt CD. And it was supposed to be, play on words. It was an entendre about, you know, my age group actually burning CDs like from the computer. Um, and then it was also a title that was abbreviated for like burnt out cognitive dissonance. So that was the other project that was originally accompanying Cam Van Gogh. And before Cam Van Gogh even existed, it was originally a series of EPs that were called And the Butterfly. And they were all supposed to be like little nursery rhyme short story themed EPs where each one would be me and another artist. So it would be the one that ended up releasing was The Snake and the Butterfly, and that was Trail 224 and myself. There was many. There was maybe 10 to 15 of them, and I think I still have all the cover arts for them. But yeah, there was a bunch. There was the tiger and the butterfly, the parrot and the butterfly, the eagle and the butterfly. There were so many, and each artist had picked their own animal, and then I was the butterfly because of the immense imagery that the butterflies had and the significance that it has across 1033 and my discography as a whole. So, unfortunately, only one of those got finished. Like I said, that was Trail 224 and myself. Lenny Classics, his almost got finished, but after I realized no one else was going to be able to complete it or would be willing to complete it, I just kind of backed out of the idea and I was like, I'm not going to put all the effort and time and resources into this. So I kept Lenny's songs, Lenny Classics. I kept his songs, set them aside, and those kind of got split up between an EP called The Same Cloth, as well as the Cam Van Gogh album. Everybody else's songs, if they did get something finished, it was, I think Nuke got some songs finished, and I ended up just giving those songs to Nuke for him to put out. I think a couple of the songs that didn't get finished and just ended up somewhere else, I think those went to a project called the Just Because EP Volume 1. So yeah, a lot of stuff just got spread out and scattered out, and I gave it back to artists, and I was just like, hey, use it, don't use it, whatever. I wasn't making a big deal out of anything. A lot of the songs on Cam Van Gogh were originally demos that I had sent out for these collab EPs. I just ended up doubling back and finishing them out as solo songs for the most part. So all of that happens. This is another example of me, I painted the artwork for both Cam Van Gogh and Burnt CD. The Cam Van Gogh artwork is just like a little abstract caricature of me spiraling and, being sucked into a vortex, and it's like a mirror thing. I kind of tried to do it off of, the play on Vincent Van Gogh's style. And the title even came from just, also making a reference from like how Picasso's name derives from Picasso. And I did the Cam Van Gogh instead of Vincent Van Gogh. Hindsight, I could have did Cameron Van Gogh, but Cam Van Gogh makes sense because I had dropped a line in a song a while back, and there was a Cam Van Gogh punchline I made, and the idea, stemmed from all of that. So the cover art for Burnt CD was an abstract version of a CD, just a regular blank CD, burning. And when I went to shoot the promo videos for Burnt CD has been taken down as of now because I repurposed a lot of those songs because I feel like I had better ideas for them than just being on that project. But the original promo video for it, I actually had an old spool of CDs and I poured some alcohol on it and I set it on fire and I, threw it in slow motion and I just let it burn. And that was, what I used as my marketing. Well, not the entirety of marketing, but just as more imagery and more promotional videos on social media and YouTube. I don't know if they're still up. I don't think they're still up. I probably deleted them after I removed the project, and I got to do better about going back and removing stuff and just, letting it be and just letting it sit there and kind of build out my socials and my YouTube and just let stuff sit. But I try to clean stuff up because I hate when stuff gets too disorganized. Anyway, into the songs. These were some of my most fun to make. Some of them were really creative, in my opinion. The places that they came from while I was making them. Like 222. It was okay. So there's a couple layers with 222. 222 originally started out as a solo song with just me before I asked Lenny to get on the song. As I've mentioned before, 22 is like the family number. My dad used it a lot in sports. I use it, just as like a, what is it called? Like a lineage thing. I can't think of the right word, but I use it as well. I have a 22 tattoo, just as, like a legacy type thing, right? And it's 222, one, because it was 222 when I wrote this song, 222 a.m. Additionally, there's 222, me and my dad. And when I was making this song, it's more of a song about lessons, right? I think I said, with all of my losses, you would think that I'm moving with caution, but no way. Because I was like, man, I've taken a lot of L's when it came to music and success and everything, but I'm just like, nope. Hey, I'm going to lose eventually. Everybody's got to lose sometime. If this is all my losing that I'm doing right now, my winning season will just be that much better. So, hey, stay focused, stick to the plan, keep pushing ahead. And then another of my favorites is 3 Generations. And 3 Generations is reference to my grandfather, my dad's father, my dad, and myself. And it just tells a story about that and how the actions of one generation affect the ones that follow. Another that I really love, and this was another instance of me being able to finally work with Grace Coletta. The first song that we did together when I finally was able to work with her was Purpose or Pleasure. And that was a song that was on Summer Singles Volume 2, which, like I mentioned back on the Hometown Legend episode, some of those summer single songs were supposed to be for Hometown Legend. I removed Purpose or Pleasure from Hometown Legend because I felt like it just didn't fit. But great song. Love that song. It was one of the first songs she let me write with her. And I wrote it for her, but then she asked me to get back on the song. She said I wasn't on the song enough. So shout out to Grace. Love Grace to death. The song that we did together on Cam Van Gogh was Singing in the Dark. And it was another situation of us making the song together. I wrote what I heard her singing. Like, because sometimes when I write songs, if I have somebody in mind for a feature, I'll go ahead and write it from their perspective and from their voice. And that makes it so much easier to translate once I send them the demo of it, because I know that they'll be able to do it because I wrote it in their voice with their voice in my I wrote it with their voice in mind. So yeah, Singing in the Dark is another one. Now, The one song on Cam Van Gogh that initially started as a complete joke. Well, before I get to that one, Greens with Lenny Classics was another one that I feel was just, it was such a fun and real hip hop song. It's just talking about getting back home to mom's and eating a nice home cooked meal, and everything else in between. Is just nice lyricism and storytelling. But overall, that's what it is. It's like when you go off and you're on the road during tour, and you're eating trash food, and all you can think about is, man, I can't wait to get back home and eat a real meal. So that's really all that Greens was. Now, the song that originally started out as a joke, Murphy's Law, was a song that I made 100% because I was just making jokes with Tamani. Tamani had said something, and I said, you know what, bro? I got it. I'll make a song about it, and I'll say it. If you can't say it, I'll say it. And he's like, bro, chill, relax. It's not that serious. I said, no. I got it. I'm going to say it, and we're gonna see what happens. So I remember getting off the phone with him. Me, Pop, and Tamani were in a group chat, a group call even. I think we were on FaceTime. And we got off the phone, and I immediately got to writing, and I wrote that song, and I was, airing out Tamani's grievances, a little embellishment there, to make the song make sense. But aired out some of his grievances because I was like, you can't do it, but I can, because I don't know that person. And it'll just be me making a song, and you'll be in the clear. So made the song, and it accidentally ended up being one of my favorite songs I've ever made. And it did pretty well in terms of like just, fan reception. I'm never going to say these songs did well like commercially and financially and stuff, because I'm not really worried about that at this point in life. But it definitely did well in terms of just like fan reception and, the compliments that were made towards the song as a whole. So yeah, Cam Van Gogh was definitely one of those projects where I look back on it, and it's kind of like I said, I have a bad habit of I make it and I stamp that moment in time in my life, and I release it, and then I move on. And, as I'm going back and I listen to these projects again to do these episodes and, place myself back in that mindset of where I was when I was making it, it makes me go, wow, I didn't give this project enough credit. I didn't give myself enough credit. Sometimes I would even let other people's opinions, like people that I respected, I would let their opinions kind of dictate how I felt. Like I after Bloom, I was never in a headspace of, oh man, I just made something bad. It's terrible, blah, 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 blah. I haven't had that thought about a project at all since before Bloom. Like after Bloom, I feel like I did a good job on everything. But there are times where I move from something maybe a little too quickly. Some of that's just, an explorative mind. I'm not going to say ADHD or anything, but some of it is just my mind is so ready to explore something new after I spent all that time and effort working on the previous thing that I'm just ready. Like I'm so excited to move on to the next that I do everything that I had planned for it, release it, and then that's it. Because like I find it really difficult to just go, yeah, well, I'm going to talk about this album that I worked on for a year and I finally released. I'm going to talk about it for another year and not release anything else new because I'm talking about this one. I find that really difficult. So I just do my best to talk about it a lot, release it, talk about it, here and there, and still give it its flowers and still share it and do things like that here and there. But I do find it difficult. And that's a personal thing that, I've tried to work on over the years. But listening back to Cam Van Gogh, it definitely put me in the headspace of, man, this was a good project. I would have loved to have heard all of the And the Butterfly EPs with all the artists that originally were on there. And if I can find a song from one of them, I'll play it as well. But I do want to play a song from Cam Van Gogh and in the episode there. But like I said, if I can find a song from the unreleased EPs, I will also share that, because I do love these episodes when I am able to share something that no one has heard, because it's so rare, since everyone has heard, pretty much everything that I've released at this point in terms of like accessibility. There's not a whole lot of songs that exist. Well, there are, but they're like old mixtape pre-album, like pre-debut album songs. But I don't really have a lot of unreleased songs or original versions for that many songs that have been released. If it's been released, that's it. If the project's been released, that's it. It's not something I enjoy, as I've said before, just hoarding songs. So I always try to do something with it, even if I don't release it immediately with the project that it was intended for. So I'm going to look for a song from the And the Butterfly projects to see if I have one that never released. And if I do, I'll play that. And if not, then I will play Murphy's Law and end the episode.
Lost my mind when I lost my pride. I can't change the feelings that's inside me. You don't know I caught you in a lie. I know you did all this, cause that's Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law, that's Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law, that's Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law, that's Murphy's Law. Yes, Murphy's Law. If it can go wrong, then it's gonna go wrong. I can tell from how you picking up the phone. And I know you would rather be alone. Can't tell from the action shown. You get touchy when you smell the cologne. Get lost, step into the unknown. Cisco when we get into the grown. Girl, I'm tryna see you in that dome. No, you ain't never heard me talk like this. Walk like this, count false like this. It go back to worse when the love get this. Deep breath, cause of love I might give. Freedom goodbye, I'm choosing the side of peace. Got you in a lie, seen you with a side of weak. If I'm on your mind, try ditching your pride for me. For me, for me. Lost my mind when I lost my pride. I can't change the feelings that's inside me. You don't know I caught you in a lie. I know you did all this, cause that's Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law, that's Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law, that's Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law, that's Murphy's Law. That's Murphy's Law, that's Murphy's Law. 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 Yes, Murphy's Law. I know you been in and out of house or two. I know you been all up in a mouth or two. You acting out just to see what I would do. All cause you thought I was stepping out on you. I hope you feel stupid now, cause you had to go and let me down. Hope you're doing well when I'm not around. No ring, but you got a crown. Girl, you got me playing make-believe. Don't know what to think, guess I won't know. Yeah. Girl, you got it twisted if you think I would ever leave if I ain't know. On your street grind, take your sweet time. Disrespect me and I'm chucking up the peace sign. This is sneak crime, what you think fine. Less than perfect, but you think that I should be kind. Lost my mind when I lost my pride. I can't change the feelings that's inside me. You don't know I caught you in a lie. I know you did all this, cause that's Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law, that's Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law, that's Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law, that's Murphy's Law. That's Murphy's Law, that's Murphy's Law. 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 That's Murphy's Law.
People are gonna be people at the end of the day. Just like Cameron said, man. You focus on what you focus on in your bubble, and don't let that stuff play in your mind, man. Focus on God, and focus on your personal growth.